Yeah, and it's nice that we see a lot of different palettes this tournament. Not the same simple red ones.
So at the start here, it might look like these runners have started at separate times. We'll kind of tackle this as we go, or the wonderful people at SpeedGaming will. I won't take credit for their awesome work. But at the start here, you'll be noticing that we're going to be naming the rival and ourselves just one character, and the fastest character is A, since it's right there. We're not seeing any memes already going for a different character, so let's see how many memes we get in this run. Who's going to go for an interesting strat during the run, just for the memes of it?
All three runners start with the PC potion. It's really nice to have the potion because you can die to the first rival fight. The first rival fight is actually one of the worst fights in the game.
It's one of the worst fight time-wise, per se. It's not too high at killing you, but that's one reason why we need this PC potion, because there's obviously a chance of that. But it really stinks because you can lose a lot of time. Even for an RNG-heavy game, this first split here is so much variance that you can even see world record runs take upwards of 40 seconds of time loss, just because that's how much variance is at the start of the game, and I want to get to the further parts of the game to see how it turns out. So just so much variance at the start here.
Yeah, all runners taking Squirtle. Luckily.
Yeah, we're not gonna see a Bulbasaur run by chance, so I'm a little sad about that, but don't worry, the rivals got that taken care of.
Let's see who's the first one to start. It's Alan.
Yeah.
The fastest intro.
Alan has been running very consistently. He's the first pot runner here, so he is very experienced and very consistent right now. So that doesn't surprise me. We'll probably see a lot of consistency out of Alan over the course of the run as well. And you can already see in the fights as well some very good tech from Alan, Dabom, and Kraechel. They're all using the moves very quickly. If you watch a ton of runners, you can start seeing the skill difference even in a fight. The timing of the moves and dealing with the extra text that can occur is a big skill ceiling. Kraechel's getting the worst luck out of all these guys in this fight.
He might have the potion. He's on 5. He can die from a high roll crit.
Yeah, I'm a little scared about that.
That's right. That never.
No, never. Okay, good. Every single person got through with their PC potion intact. So that's good. One cool thing about red that we'll see in a little bit is that in the RNG manipulation, that potion's actually going to make a difference. But for right now, we are entering Route 1, and you'll see Alan here fight this Pidgey because we're going to need some early experience to get Bubble before Brock. Oh, he actually ran away from that level 3. It's very early on, so he's probably hoping for an easier encounter to fight. And Dabom did the same. They both got
the Pidgey can do up to 12 damage if you get a bit bad luck. So you really want to see a Rattata.
Would you take the second one though? I don't know.
No, the second one still not.
Okay, interesting. But so
level 2 is really nice for the Dabomstew.
Yeah. So Dabom has a chance of 2-shotting this, I believe.
Yeah, you have to 1 in 39 though, or crit. Or crit.
Yeah, crit. Right on cue, Dabom. Kraechel hasn't gotten an encounter yet, I believe, or he's ran away and not taken any experience. So Dabom is the only one currently with the experience he needs. And Kraechel got a Rattata, so you would fight any level Rattata besides 4. So he got the 2, which is probably the best encounter you can get.
Yeah, they need to kill 1 encounter because then they level 2, level 8, just before Brock. And then they learn Bubble. And Bubble is really nice to KO Brock.
The reason why you want to fight a Rattata instead of a Pidgey, even if they're both level 2, is Rattata knows Tail Whip, which will, if you get lucky, deal no damage to you. And the fight that we're going to be doing next can be a little bit annoying if you're at low health and you have to potion, and it's just can turn into a mess. So all of this right here looks like just normal tech smashing, but the runners here are doing some interesting tech using buffering and trying to clear 60 frame text boxes a little faster with B, and there's a bunch that goes into tech smashing in Pokemon games, and this generation has some of the most the most mashing text mashing skills and options, I think.
There's a 4-frame window to close every text box frame perfectly, or most text boxes anyway, and that's what we use actually in manipulations to catch Pokemons in one try.
So Alan finally getting his Rattata encounter on the final tile. So
Kraechel and Dabomstew getting the encounters from the same tile.
Yep. Everyone has to get encounters.
Still a solid race time for both. Race pace.
So we're seeing Alan with the 5 Pokeballs here. We might see 6 here from Kraechel, or 5 as well. Nice.
Yeah, 5 Pokeballs is the safe bet.
Wow, Alan actually swapping the Pokeball slot 1. Oh, so's Kraechel.
Most people do that because of the muscle memory. They think the Pokeballs are in slot 1 from PB attempts. And
fair. Dabomstew not, though. He is leaving his potions in slot 1. Let's see if this matters. So this is our first RNG manipulation of the run. They are saving and hard resetting and doing certain movement and button presses to get a Nidoran encounter on a certain tile. Kraechel's doing a slower variation of the manip, but it should net him a Nidoran that is runnable as well.
Nice, Alan got it.
All the runners look to have gotten the encounter. Let's see if Dabomstew remembers. Wonderful. Either that or he swapped it early, but I'm fairly certain he has his Pokeballs in slot 2.
Nice, all 3 runners get it.
That's an awesome way to start the run here. It clearly shows that all these runners are pretty prepared for this tournament and going to give it their all. And it's very close. Anyone can pick up a quick lead here as we head into another high variance split of Brock.
You saw Kraechel opening his menu real quick and his Pokemons to see if the Nidoran had 18 HP. Because there is a chance you can get a 70 HP Nidoran, and that's a really bad one. So he just checked out.
It's like one of the worst Nidorans you can get, actually, and it's very frustrating when you would get it. It's pretty low chance, but also if you do make a mistake in the manipulation, you get it way more commonly. You kind of manip yourself into the bad Nidoran. So it's good to check it if you feel like you were shaky on the manip at all.
Yeah, better waste 1 second than a few minutes.
Oh, Dabomstew with the Pikachu.
Not the level 5? Okay.
Not good. Woo. Alright. Cool,
Pika.
Pika. 1% already.
I think the level 5 Pikachu is the 1%.
Yeah.
I think this is the 5%.
Is this the 5%? Yes. I'm already wrong.
No worries. I got the level 5 Pikachu in my race. But I got away safely. Okay, on the Weedle fight we do 2 tail whips. And then we start tackling him down. We really don't want to see crits, because crits ignore that you lowered your opponent's defense. Oh, you saw Alan crit, and now he doesn't force shot. He lays on 1. Alan didn't check his special.
Poison on the Dabomstew means that he needs to heal here.
Dabomstew and Kraechel not having the best fight. Not at all.
Both of them got poisoned, and The bomb has already burned a potion, and he's already at 16 HP.
Kraechel has to heal here again.
Very unlucky.
So a slight hesitation there to go for it, I think.
You definitely don't want to go for it because Weedle has used String Shot, so it's faster. And even if it used String Shot, Tackle has a 5% chance of missing, so that would be really unfortunate. Alan going into Brock without saving.
I don't think he checked his special.
I don't think so. I didn't.
Oh, he might have checked
but...
it at Rival 1 fight.
Yeah, and if you get the highest special, I believe you got good special.
Yes, if you see 12 after at level 6, then you have good special.
They did get PlayStation Network. You are correct.
But if you get that special, then you 3-shot both Pokemon of Brock, and the Onyx has Bite. So if you're unlucky, you can die to Bite, because you have to 3-shot it, and he can blast you down.
So what they're doing in this fight, we haven't talked about it too much. So we're going to be using Nidoran for most of the run. Only the very beginning is done with Squirtle here. And they actually swapped Nidoran to slot 1 here. And then they're kind of sharing XP between Squirtle and Nidoran. Because Squirtle is just so good against this gym, you can kind of cheese those strats and get Nidoran through those early levels where he's at his weakest. But after this fight here, you'll see Alan pretty soon here swap Squirtle slot 2, and then it's going to be Nidoran for the rest of the run. Well, some variation of a Nidoran.
He grows a bit bigger.
Yeah, just a little bit. Starts standing up on his own 2 feet. Oh, Screech from Onyx. This means that Kraechel would heal there, heal? Yeah. He risks and gets the buy.
Tackle does 11 to 13, I think.
Yeah, I think I did those calculations today, so let me double check what they were.
Kraechel went for it.
Yeah, and it paid off, so...
So all 3 runners are heading for Route 3 now. And in Route 3 we want to spare as much Hornet tanks. Oh, there was a gem on miss. Let's first talk about that one.
Oh no. So yeah, do you want to talk about Gen 1 missing here?
Sure. For every move that should be 100%, there's a 1 in 256 chance of missing the move because of a bad coding. And that just happened to Alan. But I wanted to mention that you have to save as much Hornet attacks as possible, because you need Hornet attacks going into Mount Moon. So you want to Leer. Oh, he Gemma missed again? He just Gemma missed Leer. Okay, this is really unlikely.
Wow. Yeah, Leer is also...
I can't finish my story because he keeps Gemma missing.
In the same fight, Gen 1 missing is an extremely low chance.
Yeah.
So, really quick before we talk about too much Route 3, one of the things that they did was when they were dealing with the menu for the shopping, they also switched the battle style to set. This will stop the game from asking you if you want to switch Pokemon whenever you faint. So, you'll see here when Kraechel kills this Caterpie, it will not prompt him to swap to Squirtle.
Alan wisely healing full, because it can be a dangerous fight. The red attack can crit for 15 or even 60.
This is Shorts Guy, as everyone calls him, and he's very scary in red. You'll see a lot of high-level runners die on PB pace runs to him because just of how much risk you have to deal with.
On the Redditor, there's a good chance in PB runs to get red bar, and that's why we risk it a lot. because red bar can save about 20 seconds in row 3 already.
And then after we're past this first Pokemon, which deals a lot of damage, it's not over. This Ekans, what's the fear isn't damage, it's how mechanics work in Gen 1. So right on cue, so this is Wrap. So Wrap in Gen 1 prevents Alan here from attacking again until the Wrap move is done attacking. It traps you and does nothing. So he's just kind of burning time and HP to a 5-turn Wrap, and that's the most turns you can get. And now he can move on to the next fight.
Yeah, we call Ekans Eminem, the rap god.
Yeah.
He always raps on cue.
And then just really quick, one thing that we haven't talked about yet is badge boosting. So in this route, we are going to be seeing a bunch of abusing of natural calculation bug in the game. So when you beat Brock, you actually get an attack badge boost. It gives you more attack, and this is the game's way of kind of making you feel more powerful as you progress through the game. It doesn't do a good job of explaining this to you, but now they naturally have more attack. But the error in the natural calculation of the stats of the Pokemon is whenever a different stat is changed, like if you get leered where your defense is lowered, it actually will reapply every single other badge boost you have. So whenever one of their stats changes besides attack, they're going to get this attack badge boost. And this is kind of why we're able to save some horn attacks here and there. If you see them get string shotted, they might switch to tackle because they're going to deal enough damage to kill the Pokemon now.
Yeah, in the first fight, you really want to see string shot because you do not really care about them outspeeding you. But actually in the second fight, where you get string shotted, then it's really bad, because if you're slower than the Kakuna, you have to sometimes hit it 4 or 5 times. And that costs a lot of horn attack, which you don't want.
The way that this game does stages is pretty different from other games, just because of how rounding is done. So if you harden or leer Pokemon's stats, it can be a major change. Depending on what stage they're at. So one sand attack, for example, just brings down your accuracy so much, and we'll probably see that later on. But same thing with defenses and all that. So if the Metapod gets one harden in, it's like 2 more turns.
Alan is really low on horn attacks. He probably goes for center. That's unfortunate for him. But I think the same goes for Kraechel.
Dabom, I know, does Route 3 Moon Manip too, so we're going to have to check his horn attack count here and see how he's doing, because there's 2 different manipulations for Mount Moon. One starts when you're outside of Moon here, and that actually locks you out of centering. So Dabomstew especially wants to make sure his horn attack's good going into Mount Moon, because
yeah, and it
doesn't have that option. Yeah,
he has 7 left.
Is plenty. You
generally want more than 4 for the
3 is like the bare minimum that you can maybe feel comfortable with, but then you definitely have to save, and you're kind of putting yourself at risk. Yep, so just as Hammer called out, Alan's taking the option here to center. And then Dabom is doing something very particular that you have to keep in mind when you're doing this Route 3 Manip. He still needs a flyer. And you'll notice he's kind of walking back and forth between these 2 tiles. If he walks 1 tile to the right, he'll actually load an NPC, which will completely bork the Manip for him. And so he has to be careful not to accidentally load the last to his right. But now that he has his flyer, we're going to see both these runners start their Mount Moon manipulation.
I hope Alan is fine. There are seconds in the game, real-time seconds, that can mess up the manip. And he was really close to second 20. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah, when we're talking about seconds, basically the frame you save on matters for these manipulations, and very consistent runners kind of look at their times going into it and can know roughly if they're at that bad frame, and maybe they'll wait just a moment to save. So far, it looks like it's going well for him, but this is a very long manipulation, and he could get an unexpected counter from IGT kind of anywhere during this minute. Along the way here, we're going to be picking up a few items while getting no encounters. We're going to be picking up Water Gun, which is TM12, a rare candy, TM01, which is Mega Punch, and Alan got an encounter.
Oh, that's his
an
IGT.
IGT? Yeah.
Oh, we see so much IGTs in this tournament.
So, just like Hammer knew it, like the moment he saw the second, that just kind of shows how these high-level runners like Hammer and Alan kind of know this game inside and out. But luckily for Alan, I'm fairly certain he knows it. There's a backup manipulation that will begin when he enters the next floor.
Yes.
So he will be kind of doing a backup manip and not losing as much time. So he's going to be saving here and doing a manip found by _poi, and he will be getting a Paris the same exact way.
Oof, Kraechel got an encounter as well. I don't think that's an IGT though.
Kraechel, it does not manipulate
Oh,
Moon
right.
up until the second floor. He only does poi manip.
Okay.
Dabom getting an encounter, and I don't believe that this is an IGT. I do Route 3. So it looks like the A press in the underground there might have been wrong, or it's IGT as well. Oh no,
goodness.
Alan didn't get the Paris.
Oh,
He didn't save for Rocket either. Hopefully this is fine. He centered, so he should be fine. But
I was not paying attention. Maybe he missed the last A-press. I don't know.
it looked fine to me, but I would have to watch it back more slowly.
There's a lot of variations you can do in the manip. It makes it still work, but sometimes it's just a little bit off, so you don't get the Paris.
So this is not dead by any means. Pokemon botters are very thorough, so there's another RNG backup actually after not this fight but the next fight. So he still can manipulate another Paris. Oh. I am getting a little scared for Alan here.
Yeah, he didn't save. That's really scary.
Yeah, so I would expect him to, heal again or either swap out here. Swapping out here is very kind of shaky on time because the Zubat might not kill your slave and would be pretty slow. So potioning here is the kind of safer one. And Dabom didn't get the encounter either, did he? Oh, wait, I forgot. He made it further on the manip, so he will also have to do the final backup Paris.
Yeah, I think Alan was really confident because he had all the horn attacks in the world.
Yes,
but it can still be really, really, really dangerous if you get tail whips.
Since he's centered, he felt confident, and it's one of those things that you can argue either way. But now we're kind of gonna see why Nidoran is very, very good for Pokemon speedrunning. So at the start here, Alan's going to be using a rare candy to evolve his Pokemon. We're going to be teaching it Water Gun. We're going to be fighting some Rock-type Pokemon along the way, and this is just going to speed it up. And then this is why Nidoking is so good for Pokemon speedrunning. Nidorino involves in the Nidoking with a Moonstone. So we are about 25 minutes into this run, and we now have a fully evolved Pokemon. And we're going to be fighting trainers that have Weedles and Caterpies, and here we are with a Nidoking, and we're going to be mega.
It is crazy. We missed Kraechel, by the way, getting IGT on poi manip.
Wow, what is up with tournaments just not being consistent? Okay, but at least we have the Paris here, and now we can try
the first
to catch
Paris
it.
on the screen.
Yeah.
this race.
Oh, that critical was so close. So you can do what's called a YOLO ball to get it in. But for whatever reason, Kraechel decided to poison sting it, which won't normally kill from Nidoran, but if you crit, it looks like at the very least pretty close. So one of the TMs we picked up was Mega Punch. Mega Punch is a very powerful move. And its major problem though is it is 85% accurate. So we are going to be using it quite a bit in this next couple splits. But the fact that it is quite likely to miss here and there, it can cause some major issues for the runs, and all the runners are going to have to carefully watch their HP while managing Mega Punches.
Alan going for his Paris Manip.
If you get IGT'd here, you basically kind of have to just resave and try again.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
Slight movement error there.
We're going to be going for it again. So if it's correct, you should see him getting a Paris at the final step right before he leaves Mount Moon. There we go.
The bomb doing his one as well.
So one thing that I've seen a couple runners miss every now and again in this backup Paris is Nidoking's cry is so much longer, so it actually messes up their muscle memory for when they toss the YOLO ball in a Paris. So Alan not getting tripped up there by something like that though. Too skilled. And then Dabomstew right behind him also getting the backup Paris Manip right now. Kraechel fighting the Rocket here again.
Yeah, that can be so rough. It was a really slow death as well.
He pressed B.
Oh no. He cancelled his evolution.
Oh no. Was it we were kind of looking at something else. I'm curious, was it the Nidorino or was it the Moonstone?
So you can't press B on the Moonstone, or you can, but it won't default.
I see. So it was the Nidorino. I see. Really you can't do too much about that. That next fight, you really do kind of need Nidoking and Mega Punch to get through it safely. In yellow, you're also Nidoking, but we don't have Mega Punch, and even that fight can be a little bit dodgy, and you can take a bunch of damage. So trying to fight that with a Nidoran would not be ideal.
So instant text time. We saw the players go to the bike shop, and they basically closed the text box with B. And now the game gives you instant text. 1 frame per text box.
Oh yeah, there is a backup Moonstone. There's one literally like right below that rocket. Right above the rocket in between the Super Nerd. Sinstar with the very deep knowledge of Gen 1. So now we have Nidoking from Kraechel. He's also getting ready to punch some Pokemon in the face. Alan's getting a pretty good turn a rival 1 here. I don't think there's been... Ooh, and he crits the Bulbasaur.
A really nice one.
So he is going to be high HP, which is what you want for a race. We've kind of already mentioned this idea about red bar and how it saves time. Generally in a race, you don't want too much of that until we have a revive that I know quite a few runners will be picking up. And then you can kind of transition more into using red bar and taking your risks when you can, but still having that safety of a revive in case it does go poorly. Dabom also getting a pretty good rival one. I would say that Alan got the better part of that deal. It was quite a bit faster, and he took a little bit less damage.
Yeah, the scary things about rival is that you can get sand attacks by the bird, by the Pidgeotto, and that can lead to awful things. You can miss again into sand attack, miss again into sand attack, and then you can lose minutes there.
And then one of the annoying things about instant text is if you would switch there, let's say you get 2 sand attacks and you want to switch out for the safety, you lose the instant text. So then you have to go back to the bike shop, re-get it, and it's just more time lost on top of already having a bad fight. So
some Dokkan birds can save a lot of time.
Definitely. There's so much variation at the start here, and I keep bringing that up, but this is also the section of the run where you're starting to really see how good Nidoking is. It's one-shotting Pokemon, and then pretty soon here we're going to get a move that makes it even better. But at this point, as long as you go into high HP, your number one fear is basically just missing Mega Punches, getting wrapped from a couple things. There's not too much of a chance of dying, but you can still lose a lot of time lost to random things and missing Mega Punch on the wrong Pokemon.
Yeah, there's awful scenarios, as in missing on Pidgey, into Sand Attack, into Quick Attack, into Quick Attack, after missing and missing. We've all seen it before. But it looks steady to both runners.
Kraechel also getting instant text here, and now all of our runners currently have it.
What did I say? Okay, he got Sand Attacked.
So let's see. So now you can kind of see how much damage one Sand Attack can do.
Luckily, the Growl missed from Nidoran. Because Growl, it can be really annoying because you have to hit more horn attacks, and that's not what you want at all.
Yeah, one Sand Attack will bring your accuracy from 100% to 66 out of 100. So it's a major difference, and it's the biggest drop in accuracy you can get. Because the second drop in accuracy will bring you down from 66 to 50. So it's a major difference.
Okay, the Mankey can do 14 max, so he could have brought Alan into Red Bar, but he didn't get it.
We're just all fans of Pokemon speedruns. We just want to see this Red Bar, but none of the runners are giving it to us yet.
Kraechel probably got a Sand Attack there. Missed on the Abra.
Yep.
That's unfortunate for him.
Alan and Dabom very close. They're kind of on the same fight here. They're basically just one fight apart. And Kraechel also on starting the same split. So really anyone can still come into this because there is a ton of variation later on and a lot of kind of death points and scary fights that if you don't play them well or if you don't play safe, you can lose a lot of time. So we're going to be seeing one of the first uses of Water Gun where it's kind of obvious. We're going to see Water Gun here on the Onix. And we're also going to fight another hiker here with a couple more Rock-type Pokemon. And then we're immediately going to get rid of Water Gun for a better move.
Yeah, crazy that we only use it once. But the alternative to Water Gun is Horn attacking this Onix, and Onix has a lot of defense, so not the best threat.
One interesting thing I don't think we mentioned is some of the manips require you to change your palette, the color that the game is basically using. So right now, Alan and Dabom, since they did that backup Paris, they're going to be in this blue palette for a tiny bit longer. And Kraechel, since he did Poi manip again after he got IGT'd, he's going to stay in this red palette.
By the way, at Nugget Bitch, the end of Nugget Bitch, there was 35 seconds between Alan and the bomb. So that's still really close.
Both runners are very skilled with red and have a deep knowledge of it, Dabom and Alan. So it's going to be interesting to see if this is going to remain tight or if one is going to hit some unfortunate RNG or if tiny differences in choices and skill is going to widen that lead for one of them. We'll have to see. But coming into the final fight here, Alan is going to be dealing with a couple oddities, and then when he's past this fight is when we're going to learn a move called Thrash. Nidoking, it's his only move he learns at level 23, and that's kind of nice because for the rest of the run, we're never going to get Nidoking wants to learn this move. Do you want to erase a move? This is the only move he learns. So when he turns 23 here, we're going to teach it. And in a little bit, you'll see why Thrash is so good. But you'll also see that that is actually going to break the instant text because it's going to ask you if you want to delete a move, yes or no, and that will kill the instant text, which seems unfortunate. But in Bill's house here, even if you wouldn't learn Thrash, he's going to ask you a yes or no question, and you would lose instant text anyways. So losing instant text there is a few seconds because you can speed up the start of Bill's cutscene, but not by that much.
Yeah, Thrash is an amazing move. It's really, really good. 90 power.
90 power in Gen 1.
In a row.
3 to 4 turns, not 2 to 3, like you guys might assume. Both Dabom and Alan skipping the ether there. Depending on what route you'll do, you either pick up an ether here, a max ether later. So they're going to pick up the max ether later, I would presume.
Or even a max elixir.
Ooh. That's where you go to the left on Cycle Road, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's a lot of variation in red that you can choose with your routing, which is really cool to give a little bit of perspective of someone that has played more yellow. I've played more Pokemon Yellow, the sister game to this one. Well, the special edition of this one, pardon. But in that one, the route is much more concise. It's like more obvious what ways faster and where your menu should be. But in red, that's kind of a little more fluid and you can make your own choices. Especially in a race where you want more safety and you might sacrifice some speed for some extra safety, like with the revive strats that we're going to be seeing here really soon.
So you see Alan going to the rocket and not doing Misty yet. That's because he wants level 25. Because at level 25 we we outspeed Starmie by 1 point. And that's just enough because Starmie is really, really scary.
Also, I don't think we mentioned it. When Alan and Dabom escaped rope out of Bill's house and got back to Cerulean City here, they get instant text. And this instant text is going to last us till about right before Surge. So it's definitely worth it to get instant text, even for short segments like this, where it's going to be a couple minutes, but that's going to save a ton of time over the course of the run. So now, since we have two runners using Thrasher, you'll see that instead of Thrash prompting you to use a move again, it's just going to keep thrashing you. You're locked into Thrash. And since it's such a powerful move, a lot of the run we're going to be, if we can kill all the Pokemon in 3 turns, we're just going to Thrash. because that's going to save us time. We're guaranteed 3 turns of attacking. So Thrash is just going to save us those few seconds of selecting a move every time. And I say seconds, but seconds over the course of like the run.
We just saw the bomb miss a 92% range on the Drowsy. Into confusion, so that's unfortunate.
Oof. Alan here getting through Misty with okay HP.
Yeah, 18 can be really scary still, but I think he doesn't heal.
No,
I don't think it's worth it.
It's definitely like on the borderline. You want to see a little bit more there, but it's going to be a little bit scary going into the next fight. But since Alan is so experienced with races, I expect him to play that fight correctly for his HP. Now let's see if Dabom also gets a decent Misty here. I think Dabom went into it with a little bit better HP setup for Misty, so I expect him, as long as he doesn't get unlucky here, to get a better HP setup. But we'll see here. He also gets Bubble Beam, and also, oh no, he got the Speed Fall. Okay, so Bubble Beam has a chance to basically crit or Speed Fall here, and either of those is going to kill us. Because we're coming in that one more attack is going to kill us if we got Bubble Beam Speedfall, and Bubble Beam Crit will kill us. So Dabom is going to have to faint his whole Pokemon party and then go get Instant Text and retry this. This is terrible luck for Dabom.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Alan is going into a fight now where all 3 Pokemons have Quick Attack, and if one Quick Attack crits, there is a chance he can die. But he goes for it. Let's hope it doesn't happen.
And you can always opt to potioning. So if he gets oh wait, never mind. We're locked,
you're locked into
trash. You're locked into
trash.
So yeah, to go against my argument, I was saying because you get locked into Thrash, you can even though you think you could heal, you sometimes can't. So it's going to be a little bit scary, but he actually gets no quick attacks, which means that as long as he doesn't get another quick attack here, he actually has pretty good HP for leading forward. And Dabomstew taking his second shot at Misty here. So this time he'll be full HP, so it's a little bit safer because Water Gun Bubble Beam, even with the Speed Fall, shouldn't kill. Or I should say Bubble Beam, Speed Fall, Water Gun. But he gets Water Gun this time around, and he kills Misty. If only that was the first fight round.
Yeah. He lost quite some money on this fight, so he probably needs to get a nugget in the underground.
Yeah, the hidden nugget is a good backup. We don't require it for any of our buying. So if you would faint before the big shopping trip, the only part where the money really matters, you can just pick up the nugget to try to fix it. It depending on where you die, that might not be enough. But with Misty here, it's definitely enough to kind of fix what he needs to for his shopping.
Yeah, Misty death is relatively early. If you die at the end of Fly, for example, you don't have enough, just a nugget, and you might want to do 2 shopping trips instead of 1.
Yep. So 22 HP should be fine as long as he plays it well, because he can just always heal later in the fight. Sanded attack here is annoying, and he instantly opts out to losing instant text, but being able to not take any risks. So he's even going to be potioning here, so he's kind of stalling for this time and getting some extra safety.
Oh no, Kraechel died as well. I didn't exactly see what happened, but I can assume it was 60 Cent.
It's very unfortunate, and Kraechel being very smart here, though, and using Tail Whip, if he would have tackled, it might have actually killed Starmie, So we'll have to hope here that yep, he's continuing trying to not use attacking moves because
it's debatable though. You and Paris has to kill it.
Oh, you're right. Oof. We'll have to see here. Oh, I think Starmie's down then. That should
yeah,
definitely
but that's
kill.
not too bad. You can fight more trainers. And you don't have to pick up the nugget, so it's not definitely worse.
My only fear for Kraechel is since he's a very good runner for being new, but when things like this happen, something that you don't really have notes or that you're not experienced with, it can be really hard to kind of make the best decision for your current game. So let's hope that Kraechel can find a good trainer to kind of make up that experience. Because this game is so tight on XP and money, he's going to have to try to make up that experience somewhere.
Yeah, we're probably gonna see or I don't know if we're gonna see the gentleman. And the gentleman has a candy as well behind him. So you can make up a lot of experience there. But I don't know if Kraechel's aware of that.
Yellow, we kind of preach when you start to use gentleman candy. So I hope he knows that it's there because that's probably the easiest way to fix your experience. Because if you have an extra rare candy, you basically, if you ever see your experience wrong and you know you need to fix it, you can just fix it. So I hope that's the case. But the counter argument to that is if you candy at the wrong time, you might have too much experience. But now I'm just babbling, and we are missing out on the best cutscene in the entire game. Everyone wave to the SSAN. Boom, boom.
Love that sound. SSN is my favorite part of the game.
It
Exiting
definitely
SSN.
is. If you get to put down this game for a tiny bit, it means a lot. So one thing that I've heard from other speedrunners actually is they're like, oh, Pokemon, you probably get to kind of relax a lot. In Gen 1 especially, I've run some layer games and they're more intensive at other points like movement. But Gen 1 Pokemon, since it has so much like text, like tech to it, like when you want to buffer and like timing things, you actually can't really defocus for a moment. So a lot of this game is a lot of thinking through and timing everything correctly. So being able to just sit down in space for a little bit is great.
No.
Ooh, Kraechel just posted in chat. It's time to meme, everybody. Are we switching to the Paris main?
Oh boy.
So what Alan is doing here is he's going to be teaching Bubble Beam to Nidoking. Yes, Nidoking can learn Bubble Beam. It's going to get much more questionable from here on. So more weird things from Nidoking to come. And we're also going to be teaching 2 moves to Paris here. Paris is going to be the Pokemon we're going to be using for certain HM moves. So its kind of job for us is to basically use Cut and Dig whenever we want. And Dig is kind of weird in older games. It's basically like average teleport in certain areas. And then we're going to be seeing the final RNG manipulation in the run from Alan here. This is cans manipulation. So Surge's cans are very annoying to kind of guess if you don't manipulate them. But if he doesn't get IGT'd here, which is good, he didn't, it's always going to be that can and the can to the left. And it kind of, it's really great that this exists because for races, Surge can be a little bit scary. For Alan, I think he's high enough HP that it's not scary at all. But even if you go in with a little bit lower HP, it's fine for a race setting because you do have to save for this manipulation. So it's also your safety save.
Yeah, you still lose like 40 seconds to die, but it could be a good risk to take.
And the next split we're going into, you're going to want low HP, so that option of kind of avoiding healings there for you, so you can kind of go into the next split already low HP, which is great here. So Surge, being the master Pokemon trainer he is, uses Thunderbolt on Nidoking, which is not effective.
And there's Gentleman.
Kraechel, I love you, man. You know exactly. See, and that's the kind of cool thing about Yellow and Red. They are similar in some ways. So a lot of the knowledge can kind of transfer. That can be in a good and a bad thing. You can get things confused. But things like Gentleman Candy is a really good option to have here. Showing off his knowledge, not of just red, but as also yellow. He chose to fight it early, which is also correct here. So that's great. Yeah, Raichu can't hurt Nidoking in yellow. He doesn't have any other option. But in yellow, he can Mega Kick you, and that's not fun at all. Kraechel looking like he's getting a decent start to this fight. Oh, and he's already getting a little trolled by Mega Punch. Misses.
I wonder where he's gonna use his rare candy.
I think that fixes his XP because that's 2 Pokemon for 1 Starmie, so I think that fixes it. So he might just opt out of getting one of the candies. I'm not too sure if he looked at the candy for Agatha's strats, but if he does, all he has to do is pick up 1 less candy later on in the run. Either that or he's just going to have a spare candy somewhere. And he said he's going to meme. Maybe he's just going to rare candy before Final Champ. Who knows?
I mean, if you rare candy right now, you don't have a Voltorb range anymore, you don't have an Oddish range, you don't have a Bulbasaur range. So, you don't have a Venonat range. So this could be a good play as well. Oh, Alan got paralyzed after missing his Mega Punch. Now fully banned. Oh. So that means he has to use his full restore.
It's very unfortunate because in this fight you can also thrash turn 1. And basically the difference between Mega Punching turn 1 and then thrashing is basically a 10% difference. You're taking a 15% chance of missing at the start of the fight versus a 25% chance to hit yourself and get the same paralyzed chance. So even though he played it right, unfortunately he hit the bad roll there and got paralyzed, and losing your full restore this early can be very kind of frustrating, especially because this is the one segment of the run that no matter where you kind of are, you definitely want red bar for. It's very helpful and very kind of easy to manage. There's really only one fight that, unless you're risking something, there's only one fight that can give you trouble.
Yeah, it's really annoying to lose full restore early, because there's opportunities to get paralyzed again later on in Lavender Tower and in Silphco. So you really want to not waste your full restore early on.
If you don't have full restore, would you always save for Oddish, by the way, Hammer? Just in case you get paralyzed?
That's a good one.
Chat,
I might save.
Chime in. Let's get the entire
It's a
community
really
on
hard
this
decision. Who would you save?
Who would you save? Oh. So, Alan's going to be entering Rock Tunnel here, and Rock Tunnel is kind of this portion that if someone's never seen a Gen 1 Pokemon run before, they're kind of amazed why we're coming in here without Flash. I'm going to throw it out there that Rock Tunnel looks way more impressive than it actually is. When you do a little bit and you learn where the trainers are, it's pretty easy to kind of get down and do consistently. So you're going to be seeing Alan biking through this kind of perfectly, not hitting any optionals, and it's going to look very impressive. All right, we heard it from Araya, LOL, League of Legends, even though he's a Pokemon speedrunner, say it himself. Yeah, saving is probably correct. Yeah, and so is Wave Warrior. So we'll have to kind of see here. All right, you brought this on yourself, though, man. I'm just joking. Anyways, back to the run where everything interesting happening is. Alan's going to be coming up to that scary fight I'm mentioning, and yes, he's definitely going to be saving here. So this is the Oddish fight, and the reason it's scary is because this Oddish is arranged to die with Thrash, and Thrash does the most damage, so it's not like we have another option. So we're not likely to kill it. It's like 50-50 with crit. So if we don't kill it, it can put you to sleep.
Come on.
And good. All right, we got poison powder. So that's good. It's not over yet, though, because this Bulbasaur is also ranged very more in your favor, though. Okay, so crit didn't matter. And he gets
Dabomstew goes for red bar, by the way.
Oh. Huh, that's a little interesting. I wonder why that play would be made. It's definitely the safer play, but going for red bar there is very kind of common. Just because the Oddish is the only fight that can give you trouble. So maybe it's because you don't want to save for Oddish, for example. If you take red bar, you have to save for Oddish Girl. I'm not too experienced with which one would be better, but it's definitely interesting to see the different choices there.
Yeah, you can always get crits, and that is really, really, really bad. Oh. I kind of understand it.
Slowpoke crit is definitely less likely because in Gen 1, cool, we're going to talk about more Gen 1 mechanics. In Gen 1, your crit rate is actually dependent on your base speed, so Slowpoke has one of the lowest crit chances in the entire game. It still can definitely happen. There's some great clips of top runners out there and runners all over the dying to Slowpoke crit, which is pretty unlikely. But Dabom also getting through Oddish Girl very well. So we're kind of coming into the segment of Fly Split, which is pretty long, and there's a lot of different things in it. We have a lot of decision, a lot of RNG, this movement with Rock Tunnel, but then we're also going to see some shopping. So a lot of menuing heavy too. So it's a really cool split. It's probably one of the most fully encompassing splits of all the different skills you're going to need to do a run of this. So you can definitely see there's going to be tiny time saves here and there if someone is very good at this split, because everything comes into play. So very well-rounded runner can really shine in this split here.
By the way, Kraechel used this candy early on. So he already levels to level 29 here, where he normally would level to 29 after the Slowpoke. I almost wanted to say Snorlax.
Did he
He can it after Rifle. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, good. Then one interesting thing about being higher level here is you can actually just thrash this fight. The Venonat is no longer a range at level 29. So, yep, and he knows that. Once again, that's the kind of cool thing, that something very unfortunate happens, but Kraechel gets to kind of show us these tiny bit of knowledge aspects that he has. So Venonat, which is normally a range at Thrash, he's going to one-shot. And then Alan's heading into this little underground section, and he's going to be getting on his bike here and then picking up a hidden elixir right here.
Nice.
And unlike Dabomstew, he's going to be able to skip the hidden nugget because he hasn't died. His money's fine.
Let's hope he remembers. It's a thing you'll easily forget.
RNG speedrunning is very kind of confusing every now and again because you have to remember things from hours ago. There's a lot you have to remember and keep straight. So in the shopping here, this is our big shopping trip in the entire run. Alan's going to be buying TM07, which is what's it called? Horn Drill. And then he's going to be buying 9 super repels. You can see some people buy 10, but 9 also works. And he is also going to be buying
Oh.
3 super potions. He actually got trolled by an NPC. The NPC walked in his way, and you can quick go downstairs to avoid it. You could also kind of walk around, but that'd be much slower. He's also going to be buying a Pokédoll. We'll explain that when it comes up, but it's going to be very important in the next split here after he gets Fly. And then he's also going to be buying 2 things here. He's going to buy the first one, which is a soda pop. Come talk to this thirsty girl. Oh, and then he's going to give a soda pop to this young girl who's going to return Rock Slide to him. So now he's going to buy a freshwater, and this is going to come later when a thirsty man is going to want some fresh water. So we're also going to be buying some X accuracies here. So he's buying 12. I didn't look at his HP. Is he possibly going for early Horndrill's Teach?
No, I don't think so.
So just buying it because he has the money in it.
Yeah.
Works out here. You definitely need 12 if you're going for early Horndrill, but you don't need to. And these X items, he bought quite a bit of X specials. He's probably not going to be using all of them, but they can come in handy in turns where you want to stall, and we might be seeing that later.
Dabomstew not too far behind. I think
No,
it's,
no.
only a minute.
Oh, Dabom forgot the nugget.
Oh yeah. It's so easy to forget it one.
It's so easy. We were so focused on explaining the shopping, and they're pretty close that we didn't notice. But he's going to be realizing here when he tries to buy all these X accuracies that he doesn't have enough money. And he realizes it ahead of time. So he's going to be buying the 9 X accuracies. He's going to need more. But the nice thing is he shouldn't be missing anything. X accuracy is the one we're going to use the most, and it's the one we're going to be using very soon. So he should be fine for the time being, but he's going to lose time to having to come back and buy more.
Yeah,
so
he has to come back after the Pokeflute.
Definitely. So Alan is just a menu, and he's going to be heading into the next rival fight. In this one, depending on your HP, can be scary because you're just coming off of this fly spit where you're trying to be low HP. But since all of our runners were kind of high HP leaving, this is going to be one of the least scary rival 2s you'll see in any races, I would bet, because almost every single runner is really high in HP.
Oh, he actually does it. You're right.
Ooh, interesting. So, we are kind of seeing Horndrill early, which is kind of what I was talking about before. That's one reason why Alan definitely needs 12. He actually taught Horndrill for this fight. We're going to be seeing something different from Dabomstew, because I saw him teach Rock Slide in slot 1. So Horndrill, we'll talk about a little bit more as all the runners teach Horndrill. But Horndrill is very overpowered in Gen 1 because it works a little bit differently. In later Pokemon games, you have to be a higher level, which, yes, can be helpful in speedrunning. But what's kind of cooler in Gen 1, it's actually based off of your speed. So if you're faster than the Pokemon, you can Horndrill them. So you can use things like X Speed's Badge Boost to actually Horndrill Pokemon you normally wouldn't. And then the other downside of it, it's a 30% accurate move. But in Gen 1, X accuracies completely remove the accuracy check. So now every single move he does will hit, and it will also remove the Gen 1 misses we talked about before. That's a common misconception that they still happen. But no accuracy checks happen, and Horndrill will always hit, taking down every Pokemon in its way.
Yeah, it's really an overpowered mechanic to use. But it's really handy for the
Did
for the
Kraechel get the hidden nugget?
He didn't die, right?
Did he? Yeah, he did on Misty. No, wait, no, he did. Paris. Never mind, the Paris. Yeah. It's just like, oh, Nidoking died, but no, he was fine because the Paris got it, so his money's fine.
the real main survived.
Yeah, the Paris. He better bring that Paris in the Hall of Fame. That's all I have to say. All right, and Alan is picking up 2 more elixirs, so now we have 3. Elixirs will revive your Pokemon's power points, basically how many moves they can use, and that's going to be very helpful later on. You'll see this a lot in Pokemon speedrunning and RNG speedrunning in general. A lot of the run is optimizing your items you're going to need for the late game. So, like the shopping trips we're doing, all these items we're picking up, it's to make the late game, the hardest part of the game, as smooth and consistently as possible. So we're picking them up now to use them like a half an hour later sometimes. Did Kraechel not get Rock Slide, or why does someone bring up Rock Slide, Skip?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see him go to the girl, but I thought I missed him going there already. And
Maybe?
Just forgot the freshwater. I think that's what happened.
If he's going for Rock Slide, Skip.
The memes.
Rock
The
Slide
memes
Skip
are coming.
is something I've never really seen in Red. It's done slightly more frequently in Yellow. But you can skip Rock Slide. Rock Slide will one-shot all these Ghastlies, but it takes some time to go get it and teach it. If you want to be very risky or go for the memes, you can use Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt will 2-shot it unless you crit, but that's a little sketchy because these Ghastlies can deal a lot of damage to you, confuse you, and paralyze you.
Yeah, it can be really, really hard.
Oh, definitely. And Alan here just used that Pokédoll that we were talking about before. We'll see Dabomstew get to it soon, so I'll just start talking about it. But the Pokédoll kind of, what it's designed to do is it will run away from a Pokemon encounter, and even though it's a ghost there, it's still a Pokemon encounter because you can catch it later. It will run away from the encounter and mark the battle as a victory. And that's the key part. It marks a flag that it's a victory, which is also the story flag that you cleared the ghost there. So you can use Pokédoll to get past that story point and sequence break part of the game. This isn't a glitch because you're using the Pokédoll in the intended way, but it is a sequence break. So it prevents you from going through an entire 8-minute segment where you have to go get the Sylph Scope. So you'll see it here. Dabomstew is going to enter this fight. He's going to swap an item on his way down. A lot about Pokemon routing is optimizing menus. Or he just goes straight down. He didn't even swap on the way. That's totally fine too. Way to just call me out, just Dabomstew. But he's going to use it and then get past this.
Yeah, that's how you can see that there's a lot of different ways of doing your menus. You can do your menus here, you can do your menus later. It's just how you prefer them.
It's such a cool thing about Red, because you can just it's so fluid where you can do things. And right now we're kind of fighting through a couple rockets, and we also this is where Dabomstew chose to teach Horn Drill. Alan did it earlier. Now you'll notice that Dabomstew also has it. So it's just a little bit of difference into how they decide to go for the split. And then Kraechel is going to be going to his first Chandler fight, which is going to be very scary because he doesn't have Rock Slide.
Let's see what happens.
So everyone, I need you to bless RNG for a Thunderbolt crit, because Kraechel's kind of going to need it. Oh my god, first one!
Easiest
Please
game.
Crit all 4, Kraechel. Please do it. Do it again. Again. Oh, never mind. Yes!
Paralyzed is nice.
Oh no, he's confused though.
Paralyzed.
He's confused. Oh no. And see, this is where all this time loss can come into play.
Oh no.
So yeah, he's no longer confused. But Rock Slide Skip saves time on average, but at the same time its bottom end is so bad, especially in a race you don't really want to be going for it. But he gets through it decently well, and he only has 2 more Ghastlies to go through. So his time loss is honestly minimal. He probably is broken even not getting Rock Slide so far. So if he happens to crit the next two, he'll probably break even on this strat. Alan is going to be heading in. He's going to be going to a section of the game you probably wouldn't expect him to if you haven't seen a Pokemon run before. He's going to be handing this drink to the guard here, and then this guard's going to magically duplicate this fresh water for 4 other guards, or well, 3 other guards, and then he's going to actually be going to the Sylph Company here.
Sharing is caring.
The Sylphco is very kind of meant to be a more late game area, and we're gonna go to it pretty early because it's unlocked by just having a fresh water, and we luckily don't have to go through too many fights here, and there's a couple good items here we're gonna want to go faster and be more powerful. First off, we're gonna be picking up the final elixir of the run. He's probably gonna be getting up a max elixir later, but that's the final.
Oh, Kraechel getting the crit. We could call him Kraechel.
Kraechel. I kind of want to point out a natural glitch that happened on Dabomstew's screen. When he was biking to the left there, a repel text box appeared. If the game's ever trying to load NPCs and a text box appears, it kind of gets stuck in this in-between stage for a moment, and then the NPC will just be floating in the top left, the top, or wherever it's supposed to be, just for a moment. Oh, and he doesn't have enough for 5 X speeds yet, so this is a very tough position to be in money-wise.
Yeah, what you normally do when you have to do 2 shopping trips is buy some XPs and running special already, and then come later after doing Sylphco. Then you have to go to Safari already, and then you come across it.
So you buy less X accuracies at the start there, and then you get a little bit of everything, and then you come back, correct? All right. And Alan here is going into a rival fight that is one of those that it would be very scary normally, because it is meant to be kind of later on. You'll see that the rival's Pokemon, even though we just fought him, are much more powerful. But we're going to be using X items, and X items are one of those things that a lot of people casually don't use. They don't realize how good they are. And you can kind of see how powerful they are here. So he uses an X accuracy, X speed, and he's basically going to be one-shotting the rest of these Pokemon. He spends 2 turns and then clears this rival's entire party with 0 trouble, which is some of the great aspects of Pokemon speedrunning. Just seeing how far you can go with X items, proper routing, and it's just amazing how fast Pokemon can be if you properly plan and do everything.
Yeah, and then there's even more amazing threats. It's Sylph Red Bar, so get hit by the Gyarados and get into Red Bar. So everything that's perfectly safe we can make risky to save even more time.
It's one of those things. Hey, I'm a Nidoking. I'm weak to water types. Let's get hit by this very powerful Pokemon. This sounds great. So, Dabomstew, since he went into this fight with did Alan horn drill the Arbok, or did he thrash as well? I didn't see, but at least Dabomstew here thrashed the Arbok, and he didn't get Glare. Glare will paralyze you, and that can be very annoying. So he gets through it fine. So we're good. Alan had his save for it, I believe, because he didn't have the full restore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's saved. You can get or he did save, I don't know. But you can get a full heal on the floor below. But that's a little slow.
I see. Regardless, Dabomstew and Alan are very close, and they can kind of anything can kind of bring them back, and we're going to be heading into some sections where especially having high skill can net you some time save. So if Dabomstew plays very well, he might be able to inch back some of the time from Alan. So this is where some of the swaps are happening. Before, when I mentioned that some swaps would happen with a Pokédoll, Dabomstew is choosing to do them in this menu, where you also have to kind of scroll and do quite a few things. So Dabomstew is going to need to do another shopping trip, correct, Hammer?
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
So he's going to be able to, after he digs out of here, go and do another shopping trip, hopefully. And then that should be his final shopping trip with all the money in the world, basically, and you can get your final X items. Kraechel also in the same area, so we have all of our runners in the same area now. With everything that's happened, it's kind of showing how good the runners are. Even Kraechel, who has had this very unfortunate thing, he's still playing very well and being able to kind of keep up, and the execution's there, that he's not falling more and more behind. He's kind of fallen behind and still kind of keeping in line with them. So if RNG also doesn't fare well for them, Kraechel can definitely come back into this.
Yeah, for sure.
And if Kraechel wins, he just gets to brag he won with Rock Slide Skip. And I think we all want that at this point, right?
Sure. Oh, Kraechel got a crit, which is nice. No glare for all the
That's
runners.
very nice on this fight. You do have the full restore, but full restores are just very helpful from time to time if things go really bad. So Alan is coming into this room. If he would come here early, these items would actually be guarded by a rocket minion, and you would have to fight him. But the items he just got were the TM for Earthquake, which is very powerful. If anyone's ever seen competitive Pokemon, to this day, that move is still being ran in competitive Pokemon, and it was in Gen 1. And then he also picked up a rare candy. In rare candies, I think we kind of touched on it, but rare candies will basically just, however much XP you need to get to the next level, it will give it to you. So it's just extra levels, basically, for whenever you want. And they're very helpful for routing out some terrible fights. And you're going to see a very interesting use of rare candies in this run coming up here.
The Dabomstew is on really good HP. You want to be around 50 here, which is really nice for him. Alan is a little bit higher. And takes the left, skipping the candy on Bicycle Road, and he's gonna grab the Max Elixir probably.
He'll be making up that candy later. You don't need it right now or even pretty soon, but he'll be making it up a little bit later. So that is all the PowerPoint items Alan's going to need for the entire run, basically. So basically from this point on, he's plenty strong to kill everything. So what the rest of the run until E4 comes down to is going to be picking up one more move to kind of complete his perfect Pokemon here, and then just managing PP and HP as he's playing the game here. So one interesting thing is it's faster to cut down these branches and go into the Safari Zone this way than to walk around. There's a path you can go without cutting down the trees, but it's faster to just cut them down. And they're going to be entering the Safari Zone to get HM03 and the golden teeth for HM4 strength. And there's some items you can pick up as well in here. There's a revive if you happen to lose it, and there's a full restore if you opt into getting it, like Alan is here. And And that's really it. We're not going to see any interesting Pokemon. It's kind of sad that we go into the Safari Zone, we pay to go see these rare Pokemon, and then we instantly just super repel and avoid them at all costs.
By the way, the bomb didn't have to shop anymore. He had plenty of X items in his bag.
Oh, perfect.
Which is nice for him. You have to be careful with 2 shopping trips that you can still afford to get into Safari Zone. Which happened to me. And then you have to go to the mart and sell your other stuff again.
So Alan picking up the revive I kind of mentioned before, he didn't have to use it, so he didn't buy it before, I believe, or does he just have 2 revives here? I might have missed him buying the revive before. Oh, Dabomstew's bag is full. So he realized it before he picked up the item, I believe. Or maybe he's just clearing it for the Safari Zone right now? I'm unsure as to why you have to toss those right there, because you're going to have to need to pick up another item here soon. So probably just cleaning it out now while he remembered. But we didn't touch on it too much when Alan was doing it, but we're going to be teaching Earthquake. I think I mentioned that before. But one difference between Dabomstew's and Alan's route is Dabomstew is going to be using the PP up item to increase the power points of Horn Drill. You can kind of already see how different Dabomstew's and Alan's route is. They're going to the same places, same Pokemon, same items for the most part, but they're going to be managing their moves very differently in the late game. So you're going to kind of get to see 2 very good strats done very differently by high tier runners. Did Kraechel get the Master Ball?
Oh no. Is he gonna catch Snorlax?
Are we gonna get the Snorlax?
I hope so.
Can we all vote on what Pokemon we want to see get caught?
Okay, Alan still needs some damage still. So let's see what he does on this juggler. Hopefully XX on the Drowsy and get some damage from him. He had plenty of XX. Nope. Then the Hypno has the Confusion or Headbutt.
He definitely wants to take some damage here because of the strat we're going to be doing in the next fight. Okay, so that's not enough damage.
Yep.
That should be enough as long as it doesn't crit. Yep. Okay, perfect. So now Alan has good HP going in the next fight, and we're going to see, in my opinion, one of the most creative strats ever thought up in Pokemon speedrunning. There's a lot of cool things in a lot of games, but this one takes the cake for me just because it kind of goes against everything that a speedrunner would normally want to do.
Yeah, and it saves about 2 minutes in the whole run, so it's really amazing to see.
So, Earthquake is really good against poison types, so we are going to be steamrolling a bunch of this gym. And then you'll kind of see him do something a little strange. Let's see if we can spot the cool strat. He's gotten a lot of worthless crits in a couple while. Sometimes you crit when you don't want to, and it's very annoying.
Just an extra text box you have to clear.
Yeah. So he's going to X accuracy in this fight. Get self-destruct. His Pokemon's going to faint. You don't get the experience, but you beat all of his Pokemon, so you actually win here. So this is the strat. It's called Boom Strats, and it's so unintuitive for a speedrunner. For one, you're killing your main. For two, you're missing out on experience, which, as we are saying, is very important. And now what do? Well, older Pokemon games have this weird thing. You'll see in a moment here when Alan opens up his menu later, but you can just like revive your Pokemon with rare candies if you want. give someone candy and they can come back from the dead and be the best Pokemon in the world. Hammer, do you want to talk about why this is such a cool strat? Like, why you even want to be this low HP?
Yeah, so we rare candy, and that makes us get into red bar. And we can keep this red bar throughout Bruno in Elite Four, so that is amazing. You can one-shot all the Pokemon that come up in all the gyms. In Blaine's gym, in Erica's gym, in Giovanni's gym, Lorelei and Bruno. And red bar saves about 2 minutes as a whole. So
it's just in a game where red bar and just that priority beeping of the sound saves so much time. It's such a big impact. Dabom also entering this fight. And his HP was also good, so you'll be seeing basically the same strat. The difference is that Dabomstew will likely be elixiring on this fight instead of wasting an extra accuracy. So Alan is heading through the mansion here. We need one item for the story. We're also going to be picking up a very good TM that is really good. And then we're also going to be picking up 2 rare candies. One of them is to make up for the candy he skipped on Cycle Road, and the other one is an extra one that his route goes for. And that's going to come into play way later. RPG speedrunning, right? Everything's going to matter like way later. So there's the boom strats and Dabomstew.
Da boom strats. Nice one.
Da boom. So Alan here is going to be teaching the final HM we're going to use to Squirtle here. And then we are also going to be teaching Blizzard to Nidoking. Yes, Nidoking can learn Blizzard. Why? Nobody knows. It's fine. Whatever.
He can learn all these moves. Thunderbolt, Blizzard. It doesn't matter, but he can't learn Dig.
Yeah,
Dig?
Pokemon. No, nah. But one thing to note about Blizzard is that in this game it's 90% to hit versus 80%, I believe, in later games, which is much better. So it's much more consistent for speedrunning. And for Red in particular, you'll see later on for Lance that we're going to be using Blizzards, and the mischance isn't going to really matter too much. We'll come to that eventually, but for the time being, we're just going to pick up this very powerful TM. And you guys might be wondering, we've been cheating this whole time. Aren't we supposed to go fight Erica? Well, Alan is going to show us why we put her off for so long. This ice move is just so handy for things like Erica, because we don't normally have something that can hit her Pokemon well any other time we're around here. But now that we do, we can just come in here with Blizzard and kill a couple problem Pokemon in one shot.
Yeah, it's just amazing how fast these gyms will go. Like in less than 10 minutes, we clear out 1, 2, 3, 4 gyms. It's really amazing to see.
It's Pokemon speedrunning. Badge order is completely subjective. Like numbers 1, 2, 3. Actually, there's a glitch category in this game where you fight them in the opposite order as intended. It's called reverse badge acquisition, and if that sounds interesting, please watch it. There's a lot of cool runs out there. But anyways, back to the category at hand. We are going to be fighting Erica here, and it's kind of sad how scary Erica can be in Red here because we're such low HP. I'm saying that the fights later on, missing Blizzard doesn't matter, and it's kind of weird saying this. Missing Blizzard matters more on this fight than it does on Lance, which is really kind of weird.
If you want world record at Araya. Yeah. Araya just missed 3 Blizzards in a row, which cost him a really good 148 in the race. But back to the race.
Which is a little bit less than 0.1%, which is pretty insane. So Alan's kind of threw the one blizzard that he kind of uses on Erica here. Just if you miss that blizzard, you have a chance to die. One of the reasons actually why having revive strat actually works out, you miss that blizzard enough times that if you die there, just having that revive is better. So just another fight where revive can save you a ton of time, because dying is just so costly if you don't save. Like, no one's going to save for Erica, right? You're not going to save for a 10% death. Well, you could, but you're not really going to save for that. So if you die, you don't want to go through all your Pokemon trying to kill them. So it's just such a better strat to have revive in these races.
Okay, the bomb pickup. Secret key, nice. It's always scary to do your menu just in front of the secret key, because you tend to just dig out and then the ball is lying there.
I've never done that, and now that I said that, I'm very scared I will do it. Oh yeah, it's less to die than 10%. I'm more so just saying that, like, missing blizzards 10%, and then you have a chance to die. Things like crits and different moves, you can get bind, and then I think you can heal if you need to, and things like that. But you can definitely have a bad fight there. Revives are just helpful. But Alan is doing my least favorite part of the run, because for whatever reason, they explain to you how these questions work every single box you get to. So it's like, hello, let me explain how questionnaires work. And you have to do that like so many times. So once again, Pokemon quiz, what's that? Let's tell you. Keep watching this race. The winner may surprise you. Thank you, and good night. I'm just being weird now. So anyways, my favorite question coming up here on Alan. Does TM28 contain Tombstoner? No, it does not. Funny enough, in the remake of this game, in Fire Red, Leaf Green, and in Pokemon Let's Go, that question is changed to, does TM28 contain Tombstone E, to be a little bit more PC. So you might be wondering that this fight looks scary, but we're coming up to one of the first fights that is really showing off why AI in Gen 1 Pokemon can be such a benefit for speedrunners. So we enter this fight, and the Growlithe knows moves that can damage us, but since it knows agility, and agility is a psychic type move, and we're poison, it thinks that move is super effective against us. And then the AI prioritizes that move because Blaine has good AI. But because it has good AI, it actually is really stupid. So the only things that Blaine can do against our Nidoking is Super Potion, or it's Super Potion, or keep agility. And someone just told me that Dabomstew just died.
No, he didn't die. He had the 4-star because he missed. He used Blizzard on, or did he jam on Miss? I didn't see. He had a gem on Mist or Blizzard on Velplu and Mist. And then he got Sleep Powder, and he slept, and then he full restored because he can get Razor Leaf and died.
I'm a terrible commentator. That sounds amazing.
No worries.
Oh, he forward.
Yellow
he horn drilled Victory Bell. Oh no.
Sometimes you gotta go for that horn drill. This flex.
Hey, yeah, horn drill can hit. It's 30%. You're faster by that point. Insane. All right. We put off Sabrina till basically the second to the last gym layer as long as possible, because this is the psychic type gym. It's very good against us. We're fast enough to outspeed every single Pokemon, and we're gonna one-shot them because each of these Pokemon have low defense stat, and then getting 45 there is very important. This is the final thing that makes us fast enough. And just to kind of point out how important this entire run is, we need the exact amount of stat XP, basically the equivalent of EVs later, to outspeed that Alakazam. If you fight like top hiker instead of bottom hiker, you will actually be slower then that Alakazam and you can die. It's very tricky in this run to manage everything. So it's just amazing to watch all these runners memorizing all these things and managing all that. And routers have put so much time into managing that. Like if someone's like, oh, I can come in and optimize Pokemon Red, think of all those tiny things you have to manage. Stat XP, so you outspeed that Alakazam, candying. There's just so much in this run.
Yeah, routing this game is a lot of fun. Back in the day where we didn't have Manip, we sometimes killed Zubats in Moon to just get enough stat XP to outspeed some Pokemons. And those kind of strats are just amazing to me.
There is so much and so many people behind these games that have put so much time into it. It's way too long to list everyone, but to anyone who's ever routed, put time into Pokemon, you have my personal thanks, because the community is great. And look at how great this run is from a viewer, from a runner. There's so much that goes into it, and there's been so many people that have made this happen. Like, look at this run. There are 3 runners right here, all on decently retrospective runs, just doing all these awesome things. Where's Kraechel going? I'm up here praising these runners. And Kraechel, what? And then Alan died.
He's going to get Zapdos for E4 or something.
Oh no. Where's Wave Warrior 3? He said Zapdos is best mon. Oh, okay, everyone in chat, this is for you. We're gonna go get Zapdos.
Something you don't see often.
Getting back to the important stuff, it's funny to meme about what's happening, but let's explain kind of what happened on Alan's screen here. So he went into one of the scarier fights in the run. We are going to go into this fight low HP. There's just so much potential red bar for quite a bit of the game, and you want to be low HP going into E4, that you save before this fight, and then you go into it very low HP and just hope that you don't get damaged for one turn, and then you one-shot the rest of the Pokemon. So Black Belt in PB pace runs where they don't save have killed a lot of runs. Hammer, have you died to the Machop guy here? I'm gonna assume yes. But it's just one of those crazy things that at an optimal run, you take all these things where these runners are saving and risking your entire run to just chance to die. So yeah, there is a Zapdos manip made by Wave Warrior, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Chill Magic also did some for it. So correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I know they're both in the channel here, but I don't think Kraechel knows the Zapdos manip, and I don't think he knows where Zapdos is.
Oh no.
Made by Enter. Enter actually made it.
There it is.
With my late game spaghetti, he was still on for second. From Dabomstew, typing in chat and playing. That's some awesome multitasking. But there we go. We have Zapdos on screen. But also, very importantly, Alan has now beaten the final gym leader. And we're going to be going into, we only have 6 more fights in the entire run. But there's quite a bit that goes into it. What is this name? String? Is this Flow Fit? Yeah, it's String Flow. Shoutouts to String Flow. You know who you are. You know what you did. You're the best. All right, back onto the run. So Alan is going to be fighting a quick rival fight here. Once again, if smart AI wasn't a thing, this fight would be much more scary. The reason why Red can just run at such low HP for that red bar for a lot of the run is the smart AI that's in a lot of these late game trainers. They just prioritize super effective moves, and sometimes they really shouldn't. Like, this Pidgeot is going to be sitting here when he could basically just peck him to death, and he's going to be sitting there doing agility forever. And interesting enough, just to kind of call it out, just for fun, since we have the time, in Gen 1, actually, your opponent's Pokemon have infinite PP, so it will never stop agility. So even if Alan just bought like 200 X items and sat there spamming X items all day, he would still never die because the Pokemon would continue to agility. And then
Dabomstew doesn't. Yeah. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and you noticed here that on the rival fight, the Growlithe came out again, and we set up for the second time on the Growlithe because once again, Growlithe knows agility. Just makes menuing a little bit better to do it there. Whoa! What happened to Alan?
Oh, so that's a strat. You can Blizzard the Venusaur there because he has to save another Horn Drill to use on Lorelei. And the thing is, you can die.
So pardon if I missed some of the things because I don't run this exact route. So can you explain to me? So they don't X accuracy then, or do they?
No, they don't X-Ac. They use 2X specials.
They X special. I see. So that's why Blizzard Miss can happen, or you can miss the range. But in this one, Blizzard missed. But on the second try, he actually froze it solid, which is great.
Yeah, because he could have died actually if he didn't.
Strength Flow there, taking on the world. Unfortunately enough, you will notice that if you already taught Thunderbolt, you have a very bad Pokemon on your hands in Zapdos.
Oh, and he's fighting the guy after answering the question wrong.
Oh, did he answer a question wrong too?
Let her bring your burn you.
So, just to shout out one of the cool things about early Pokemon, this is one of my favorite parts, where you have to kind of go through these checks with all the gym badges. I think one or two more Pokemon games later on made you like go through a check system, and I think it's really cool. Game Freak, please bring that back. I really like that. It's something so simple, but it's like really epic going through here. Except I hate Gen 1 how they changed the music. Like they have this awesome epic music, but you have to surf here. So now it's just la di da di da. Yeah. It's so great, but so he's super potioning here because is he going to be risking Lorelei?
Yeah, he's just gonna X-Ac on the Dewgong instead of switching out his Pidgey.
Okay, cool. Makes sense you want to be higher HP for that because I think you can live non-crit. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it does around 90 to 100.
Okay. So potioning
so actually get Bedbar back from
it. We get to look at the awesome Nidoking there right there. So we can definitely see that he didn't get IGT'd now. And you'll kind of see one cool trick he's doing here. We'll see it here in a moment, but it's called Swag Boulder. So you have a couple frames, I'm not sure how many, to turn after you interact with the boulder, and the particle effect is based off of where your character is, not where the boulder is. So if you're able to buffer that turn, the strength particles will kind of turn with you. We have some very passionate arguments about why Swag Boulder is bad, but it's called Swag Boulder. Oh. It's been in like so many marathons. Anyways, yeah. So getting off the bike there, causing a little bit of time loss. Alan really does have a good lead here, so as long as he does some safety strats and plays it right, and he hasn't gotten any split XP or anything, so as long as he plays it well and doesn't get infinitely crit by someone like Gyarados, he should have a pretty good shot of taking this one home.
Yeah, Lance is not an easy fight at all.
No,
I heard
Lance
from
can
friends.
make sure that this goes on for the rest of the day. So everyone, clear your schedules as we hit a 1 in a trillion chance. Let's die to him 100 times in a row. Alan making a slight mistake there, actually. This does matter because where Alan repelled before, he had basically, I think it's 1 step and 1 extra turn frame if you make a mistake. But if you take that many steps as he did, he's going to have to repel early. So in this game, you can override your repels. So optimal movement, you're going to be repelling in a menu where you're going to be doing something else. So he's going to push this boulder. That was terrifying. At the same time,
he tried to swag boulder it, but he almost fell into the hole.
Oh my god.
That would be hilarious.
Wow. Imagine being confident enough to swag boulder after that happened. Whoa.
Gotta shrug it off.
You gotta shrug it off. Gotta swag. Alright.
Left. I'm right.
So normally you try to repel soon enough so that when you fall in that menu where you have to get on the bike in strength for the final time, you super repel. But because he took the extra steps, he had to do it. And he's actually taking the safety strat, which I really like. It's getting the full restore there. And then you're going to be going through the E4. Does he have 2 now, right? Because he used 1 before.
Yeah.
And you definitely want 2 going in.
So he's gonna deposit all his Pokemon here, so the revives are kind of useless.
Well, he already used that revive in the last fight.
Right.
So there's no reason to keep his Pokemon now. If he had the revive, he'd probably bring in at least 1 Pokemon, even if you're YOLOing Agatha. If you're not, YOLOing Lorelei. If you don't YOLO Lorelei, you probably bring in 3 Pokemon, because we'll probably see it from Dabomstew here soon. But it's a little bit of a different strat. But he's going to go in solely with Nidoking, and we're going to need bless RNGs in the chat, because if he dies here, he's going to have to redo this fight. So Dewgong's RNG is a little interesting. So, okay, he got the best possible choice here, unless you want red bar. He's far enough ahead that red bar shouldn't really make the difference, but Dewgong can rest turn 1. It can Bubble Beam and Aurora Beam, I believe.
It's actually only Aurora Beams.
Oh, only Aurora Beam. And then Aurora Beam non-crit wouldn't have killed him, but he is basically now full health. He can't get red bar, but he got his free turn of using X accuracy, and he can just one-shot the rest of the Pokemon. We'll see the normal strat from the Dabomstew here, I would imagine, soon. But now he's able to go in the next fight. No healing, and he's going to be on a very good position going into the rest of the V4. Dabomstew, not doing any swag bowlers, has his mindset on the goal, and he's just gonna catch up to Alan. No swagging necessary. He actually kind of took a strange way around, so he had to turn around to get the full restore there. So Bruno here, if you go into low HP, can be a little bit risky, but we're going to be doing roughly the same strat we just saw on Agatha. Sorry, not Agatha, Lorelei. We're going to be using X accuracy, and then we're going to be using moves that one-shot them.
So the bomb doing the same, depositing all his Pokemon. See if he saves. Nope.
Doesn't save, goes straight in.
Does not care.
So, same thing as before. The other strat you can do... Wow, he also got rest, which is good. So, Dewgong is guaranteed to rest turn 2. Just the AI basically says, like, F turn 2, use rest. So even if she's at full health, she'll rest. So what you can do is you can sacrifice one of your other Pokemon that you've been using the HM moves for, and then just swap in a Nidoking X accuracy on the free turn where she rests 100% of the time, and then Hornchill. But both these runners got the top end, and they're in a really good position now. I know it's not YOLOing at 135 because only a crit's gonna kill them. I apologize, but basically you're just going into Lorelei and not leading, is what I should be saying. So you're just leading the Nidoking.
Time for Agatha for Alan. Can be really trolly, but can also be really fast. Nightshade is pretty good.
To shout out what Alan did right before Agatha too is he candied. That's going to be another difference. Probably the final difference really between... no, there's a little bit more. But it's one of the major differences between Alan and Dabomstew's run right now is Alan is a little bit higher level going than Agatha, which makes it slightly safer. But we actually saw the downside of Alan's route before. It makes the Venusaur... the fight that it is. Dabomstew couldn't have died on Venusaur, so that's one of the trade-offs. So Alan kind of hit the bottom end of his route where he died on the fight that is riskier. So it's one of those strange things. If you would have used Dabomstew's route, that wouldn't have happened, but then he'd have a scarier fight here and there. So Pokemon routing and choosing your route kind of comes down to personal preference and where you want to take your risk. Aurora Beam can also freeze, so that can also go bad.
No, Aurora Beam just...
it can't freeze.
Lowers your attack.
I'm a bad reader. Ooh, don't hate me, please.
No worries. Okay, time for Lance. Let Lance decide.
Let Lance decide. So Lance, you'll see Alan kind of managing his HP the best he can. You actually want potions going into E4, largely for this fight. You every now and again you'll see potions around like Bruno and maybe Agatha, but you want potions for Lance to get at the perfect HP because of that smart AI we've kind of been talking about for a while. So at the start here, Gyarados, we're going to use next special. We haven't talked about it too much, but special in this game isn't split. Your defense and your attack are the same stat. So next special here is going to increase his defense, so Gyarados does less damage to him. That gets him into red bar because he used the appropriate healing items. And now, because of smart AI, these Pokemon are not a threat to him because they know agility. So he's going to X speed here, and it's going to agility, and then he gets to use Blizzard, which will one-shot them. And even if it misses, they're just always going to agility. So, and the X speed is for the one Pokemon that doesn't use agility. So see, he missed a Blizzard there. He's going to just reuse it. It's totally fine. But the next Pokemon here, the Aerodactyl, is the one we need the X speed for. And then he's going to Thunderbolt, and that's going to take... leading into the Dragonite, and hopefully this Blizzard hits. Otherwise, you have to use Thunderbolt quite a few times, but it hits, and Alan's going to be going into the final fight here with a really respectable time for some of the bad luck in dying. Alan's been showing off his consistently and game knowledge consistently through his run.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kraechel swapped his XX to the bottom of his menu and moved the Max Repels up. Interesting play.
All right. Are we going to be getting Moltres, do you think? We got to be getting Moltres, right?
I don't think so. He doesn't have another Master Ball.
Oh, yeah, he probably doesn't have any Pokeballs. Darn. Oh, too bad. But, Alan coming into the final fight here, and one interesting caveat to Gen 1 is animations are turned on for the final fight. I don't think I particularly know why. Like, they thought that this would be a good idea, but going into it, you can get kind of unlucky and get Sky Attack at the start here. But basically, from this point on, Alan has a free fight. He has one less Hornchill than Dabomstew has, but that won't matter. He's just going to use a different move. So Alan is going to be ending this race strong with only 1 death. And he had his revive, so at least that was good. So GG to Alan.
GG. See if the bomb survives. Yes.
Hydro Pump also has a high chance to miss too. So it's really sad when Hydro Pump crits. Wait.
Oh.
Gyarados Hydro Pumped. How?
What just happened?
What just happened?
Chat, please update this. We didn't see what happened.
What happened?
It's earthquake.
He used Earthquake. Oh no. Oh, he's before Lance.
Oh no.
Oh no. Let Lance decide. Oh my god, no.
And now it's close again.
You can't Gen 1 miss after Exact.
No, he has 5 Horn Drill, so he has to do a Blizzard or Rhydon or something like that.
You can also Thunderbolt on Gyarados, and he probably tried to go 2 down, and accidentally went only 1 down, and accidentally Earthquaked. Wow!
Difficult.
Okay, does Dabomstew realize what's going on? If so, he should really save. He has a decent enough head start.
Yeah, he's gonna super and save probably.
He's gonna save?
Yep.
So Dabomstew is gonna have a decent shot at coming back here. He's even gonna max ether the Horn Drill, and he has 6 Horn Drills. So if he gets through this this Pidgeot without dying, he can just Horn Drill the entire thing. But if he died, you'll be noticing that Alan is going to be at roughly the same place that the Bombstew is going to have to come back to. It's down to this final rival, and the Pidgeot that has killed so many Red Runners runs. It is so close. Okay, so here's the X speed. So what he doesn't want to see is Sky Attack. Wing Attack, as long as it doesn't crit, is fine here. Okay, we're good. There's still a chance that this can go poor, though.
Okay,
we're good. We're good. There's nothing. I'm gonna say it again. There's nothing that can go wrong, because this time
there's nothing
has 6 Horn Drills. The PP strat actually made a difference here because there's nothing that can go wrong. It's just amazing that something like this, that's what it came down to. Because a simple input of just 1 input dropped makes a difference in a race that is so close. Oh. Okay. Dabomstew. Wow.
I thought he got crit.
Wait, is Kraechel back to Nidoking?
Oh, yeah.
How is he going to kill anything? He doesn't have the right stats. Is he just going to die halfway through E4 and redo it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But that's the final Pokemon down from Dabomstew. A runner way back from the day. Hammer could tell you better. But is come back with a very good race time. With everything that he's had to deal with, it's a really good race time. And a little bit ago, Dabomstew was in chat saying that his E4 Spaghetti. Well, E4 Spaghetti is enough to get you through. Yeah, but where would you make up the... Oh, wait. Did he have the extra rare candy still? You can make it up for Blaine, I guess. But, aren't you still lower? I don't know. There's been so much. I missed something. But now, Alan also threw the final champ here. Wow. So, Dabomstew coming in first here. He only has Nidoking, so he's doesn't have to watch any other animations. An in-game time of 1:56. You can kind of see the difference from just general playing, but also the fact that he died. That's all covered here, and that was time. Oh, a 15850.
Really
Hammer, how
nice.
you doing?
I just feel Alan's pain. I made exactly the same mistake. or almost exactly the same mistake. And it just hurts to die like that.
In the moment, it's so hard to one tiny input can make the difference. And especially when you do these runs consistently, I find it's hard to slow down and just like take the extra moment to make sure that I hit the right move. Like just a simple mistake like that can mean the difference between a death here and then or finishing.
Yeah, there's some lag going down twice, and that can really mess you up.
Definitely. We have Kraechel here, and with everything that's happened and his Zapdos, he is still going.
And if he finishes, still a good chance to make it through, to be honest.
Oh,
after everything that happened.
Yeah, depending on how the rest of the tournament shakes up, he can still go on to the second bracket. Just a little bit about how the tournament works. The winner of each heat, I'll call them, will move on. But then the remaining runners, their times are kind of organized by best time to the highest time. And then the top of the remaining slots we need to fill are taken from the races in order. So even if you don't win, you want a good time, so you're more likely to move on to the next one.
And while Rachel's still going, we have Alan in the channel below us, who's gonna join us soon. Hello, Alan. What an unfortunate ending to that race.
That summed up that race quite well. Whatever. I didn't deserve to win. I made one wrong input that cost me pretty much the tournament now, I guess.
No way.
I'm pretty
You'll
sure.
easily make it through.
I don't know. I have to look at what the other times are, but that was just disappointing.
No, it's not over at all.
We're gonna see. I'm not gonna be optimistic or sad about this or anything, but that was just god awful.
Yeah, I made a likewise mistake, so I can feel exactly what you feel.
Basically, if I saved, I would have still won, but yeah, it is what it is. I had no idea where all the other runners were for like the entire race because I had no comparison left running because nothing else worked, so I was just looking at my times throughout the race and I had no idea where the others were.
So that kind of brings up this interesting thing that normally live split you can look at other runners and you can kind of assess your risk based off of other runners and kind of weigh it out. But you had no clue where the Dabomstew was, so in your mind you had pretty good HP and you wanted to take the extra time save there to just go through, basically. Is that what your thought process was?
Yeah, pretty much. I was basically, when I made that mistake, I was just looking at the SRC chat to see if we actually finished already. And right in that moment, I don't know if one of my inputs was eaten or if I just screwed up. Probably the latter. And yeah, that happened. And yeah.
Also, that's for Viridian Rival. That was really unfortunate. After reviving, freezing it, missing again.
Yeah, I was just after that happened, I was just a wreck. First, I died to Black Belt, which was okay, and then I died to that Viridian Rival, which I've never died before too, and I was just done.
Oh no!
There we have the bomb. Congratulations on the race win.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a very hollow victory, but I guess I'll take it and advance, and hopefully Alan will be fine on time as well.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, Alan will advance, for sure.
Oh no! Kraechel! Oh, he just got crit.
Where did he get crit?
There's 4%. This guy attack crit on Bitchet.
Yeah, he wasn't...
Did he
He saved
deceive?
beforehand, so he should be fine. But this is one of like the fears when you're doing PB attempt runs. You're just sky attack.
Oh,
If it happens, you just kind of have to hope and pray, and sometimes this can happen on the best run ever. But back to Dabomstew, how do you think the overall race shook up? Because you had an unfortunate death on Misty. How did that impact kind of your choices for the rest of the run?
Yeah, the Misty Death, honestly, obviously you guys saw that I forgot the nugget, and then that just kind of just put me off a bit, and obviously I then did other stuff like used the elixir instead of the max ether before the rocket, and all this other stuff that just kept compounding, and then finally there was that drill on the victory belt. So it was
we were
really
really
just...
confused what happened.
I saw
Yeah,
that going into the Elite Four I had no chance of catching up, so as soon as Alan survived Lance, I went into full safety mode, and so that was just really lucky and obviously not very deserved, but it is what it is with Red.
I didn't deserve to win either, so.
So, Kraechel, not Rachel, sorry. I like was misspeaking, sorry. Kraechel is coming into the final fights here. With a Zapdos catch, he is going to be ending with what is this looking like a high 207?
Yeah.
That's that's
Wait,
pretty
what?
awesome.
He has a Zapdos?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got the Zapdos with his Master Ball. It took him
Okay.
like 3-4 minutes or something. And then he fought some Blaine trainer with his Zapdos. I don't know.
It was a strange one, but that was really interesting. So Dabom, you also didn't have a comparison working on your end for live split, or
I don't... Like, I was intentionally not paying attention to the race until after the Misty Death, honestly, but I might set
see.
that stuff up for the next rounds.
I see. So a really interesting race for the third race. And pretty soon here we'll get Kraechel in. We'll ask him all about Zapdos and why it's the best of the three birds. But can I just ask you, Dabomstew, final thoughts on the race? Is there anything that you're really looking to improve before the next round comes around?
Well, yeah, obviously Moonman, if I think I failed, it may have been an IGT, I was never sure, but that felt like it was a failure more than an IGT, and then just menus in general, because I had so little practice time for this one.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, because you did Route 3, and then I saw that, and I also couldn't remember if that one's at IGT, but I'm not too familiar with it either. And if it's IGT, that's very unfortunate, but working on Moonip and just general. Okay, and then Alan, if you also advance, would there be something that you would be looking at improving or focusing on for your next heat?
I would improve definitely on not fat-faring Earthquake on the Gyarados. And I don't know, overall, I just always struggle with nerves when I play in front of a bunch of people. That needs to be fixed at some point.
Practice will help with that, and Alan, you did an awesome job this run. You were playing so consistently, and I hope that you'll just be proud of that, because that was awesome to watch how consistent all your text boxes were phenomenal. Like this entire race, your movement selection, you didn't falter for like any of it. So that was really impressive to see, honestly.
And we also got Kraechel here. Kraechel, what are your thoughts on this race?
Don't ask me. I had fun. That's all that matters.
So Kraechel, I do have to ask you.
Yes.
Do you regret? We'll talk about what you did. Do you regret memeing it up? Knowing? Were you comparing against Alan? Do you kind of know what happened, or where Dabomstew? Did you know where they were the entire run?
I was comparing until I guessed ITT on Mount Moon, and then I just said, okay, this one is kind of bad. Gonna look how it goes. And then I stopped the evolution. And that was the point where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start memeing.
So, let me fill you in really quick. It kind of came down to some stuff at the end, and Dabomstew came back from over 2 minutes of a time difference. And when you were kind of deviating and doing other things, you weren't that far off from Dabomstew. Dabomstew actually died at Misty. So you guys were actually kind of close for a lot of that. So with that kind of in mind, I'll ask you again. Do you kind of regret kind of going off on the Mimi route and catching Zapdos and doing those things?
No, not at all. I had fun. Congrats to the Dabomstew. And I hope Alan gets into the second round.
It was a really great race from all you guys. I really enjoyed watching it. I'm fairly certain a lot of chat enjoyed it as well. And thank you guys for all three of you for running. Once again, congrats to Dabomstew. Good luck to Alan and Kraechel for you guys getting up into the next round. And Hammer, do you also have any final thoughts? Because I had a blast watching.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. Sorry, I started eating because I was really hungry.
Okay.
It was an awesome race with the clutch ending again. We all thought Alan was going for it, but unfortunate. But fortunate for the Dabomstew. But we were gonna see both of them back. I'm sure of that.
And with that, this will kind of be the end of this one. So before we hand it over, I want to double check because I know we have some runs tomorrow. So I just want to pull that up and make sure that I give the times out for each of them. So we have 2 more tomorrow. One of them is, and I'm going to give the time in Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. once again in Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and then at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Times. The channels are up in the air. It will be on one of the SpeedGaming's channel, and we will eventually know those. So keep a watchful eye out. Follow all of SpeedGaming's channels. They're great. They help us do this, and look at all the awesome work they did to make this run so smoothly. So thank you to them. Thank you to everyone doing the marathon and contributing. And final thoughts from anyone else? Otherwise, we're going to kick it off, and that'll be it.
Oh, thank you for commentating, Sudan.
Thank you,
guys,
Hammer,
for commentating.
being here through it all and listening to me blabber. All right.
It was a good lesson.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.